In the last few years, Disney's cut the line system has undergone a lot of changes. For the longest time, it was Fast Pass Plus. It was included with your vacation, and for the most part, people enjoyed it. Then COVID happened, and they made a lot of changes, including taking away Fast Passes being free, and then changed it over to Genie Plus, which was met with not the best reception in the world, and to the point where they actually scrapped that system and then came out with the Lightning Lane multi-pass and single pass system, which is very much like what they used to offer with the Fast Pass system.
Confusing.
Well, there's a rumor out there that this system may be changing yet again, and we have an article here from Blog Mickey, and we're going to talk about this. So hi, I'm Jared from Capture Some Magic, and like I said, the article here from Blog Mickey is rumor Walt Disney World to debut Universal Express style skip the line offering. Now, I actually had recorded another video I was going to release where this was rumored to happen at Disneyland, as it showed up on the Disneyland app very quickly, which was called Lightning Lane Premier Pass. And it seemed like this could be the thing that they were going for. It was live for a little bit, didn't have any functionality, and then they took it away, which, it being on the app at all, lends you to believe that Disney had this in the works. And it seems like this is now probably coming to Disney World as well. It says, as Disney World continues to evolve its skip the line system from Genie Plus to Lightning Lane Multipass, we have a new rumor that a new product offering is on the horizon. First rumored to be just for the Disneyland Resort, like we talked about, we can now report that Lightning Lane Premier Pass is planned to come to Walt Disney World as well. What will Lightning Lane Premier Pass be? Says we have an idea, but details are still scarce as Disney finalizes the product for a rumored 2024 debut. So it would be this year. That's interesting. Also, it's worth noting that we expect there to be differences in the Premier Pass product at Disneyland versus Walt Disney World. And here's what we expect to be announced. Again, called Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Says we're still working to collect details, but the rumored Lightning Lane Premier Pass would be similar to the Universal Express Pass at Universal Orlando Resort. Okay, I just had to say before we go on, I've been saying this over on our podcast for years now, that Universal's Express Pass system is the best operating system when it comes to these cut the line systems. I feel like that is the one that just works the best. And I often wondered if Disney would eventually move to this. Seemed like they might. But again, I do think that is the best way to run a cut the line system, is the way that Universal does it. Essentially, guests who purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass would be able to skip the line at eligible Lightning Lane attractions once per day without the need to book a return window. This would be Walt Disney World's premium skip the line service, short of doing a VIP tour for the day. As of published time, we're not sure what the pricing would be, but you can expect that a premium product will demand a premium price. I mean, Universal's is priced anywhere from, I think it starts at $130, $160-ish. I can't remember exactly where it starts, and can go upwards, $200-ish and things like that. So I would assume it'd be around the same pricing for Disney's version of this as well. Currently, Walt Disney World Skip the Line system includes two offerings that fall under the Lightning Lane umbrella. For the most in-demand rides, guests can purchase a Lightning Lane Single Pass. Rides that are available via Lightning Lane Single Pass rides are Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, Avatar Flight of Passage, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and more. Lightning Lane Single Pass allows you to purchase one ride on an eligible attraction per day. For guests looking to ride more than just one attraction, Lightning Lane Multi-Pass allows guests to skip the line at a host of any eligible attractions once per day. Think of Lightning Lane Single Pass like ordering an entree, whereas the Multi-Pass is like having access to a buffet of options. Well, if the buffet of options is limited to certain times, you can go up to the buffet and get them, but that's a little caveat, I would say. There are currently more than 45 attractions and experiences available via the Multi-Pass system. The drawback of the Multi-Pass and Single Pass systems is the branding. First off, it's terrible.
Story, it's so complicated.
Is that you have to reserve a return window to enter the skip the line queue. For guests looking to throw even more money at the problem, the Lightning Lane Premier Pass will allow you to skip the line at eligible attractions whenever you'd like during the operating day. It is rumored that access will be limited to one attraction per day, but you will not need to secure a return window. Simply ride whenever works best for you. Other details are still unknown at this time, and we've reached out to Disney World for comment, but we have not received a reply. At this time, we have not heard of any offerings that would be similar to Universal Express Unlimited, and we don't have any reason to believe that Disney would roll out an offering that would allow guests unlimited skip the line access at an attraction or attractions multiple times per day. Even VIP tours have some limitations or have had limitations in the past, especially when it comes to new attractions. So that is the rumor that now is likely coming to Disney World. Now, this system, I have said for a long time over on our podcast, and I say it anytime that it's relevant to the conversation. I think Universal's Express Pass system works the best out of any of the cut the line systems out there. I think it's just a way to do it. And the reason being, it's premier, so it's more expensive, which means not as many people get it. And they only sell a select amount of them per day. And you can also get them when you stay at Universal's premier resorts as a perk there. In a given day in the park at Universal, not that many people have the Express Pass. And the other upside to it is you don't have to schedule anything. You just walk up, they scan your card, and you go in. But by having it, just a few people have this Express Pass throughout the day in the parks, the standby lines are much better and much easier. So you don't have, unlike Disney where they have the Lightning Lane multipass, they sell tons of those per day, and those people are always in the queues and everything like that, which does slow down the standby lines. I do have some questions about how this would affect the standby lines, because now you would have your Lightning Lane multi-pass people and your single pass people and also these premier pass people. So imagine that the amount they would sell per day would be very low. So there's a fine line there. They would have to try and figure out to where it doesn't impact the other lines that much because of this. And given one of the biggest complaints people have had about a Disney World vacation is not only just how complicated it is, but how much it requires you to be on your phone. Now, this I think would alleviate that issue if they end up doing this, where you just buy that Premier Pass and then you're able to just go on the rides whenever you want. So, in terms of simplifying a Disney World vacation, it is a step in the right direction. Granted, you would have to pay for that luxury to have a simplified vacation, but you would be able to do that with this system. Now, something that I think would be a smart thing that they could do is just make this part of when you stay at a deluxe resort, you get it as a perk, much like how Universal does with their premier hotels, is where you get the Express Pass as a perk there. Now, I do wonder at some point if Disney just moves to this Lightning Lane premier style system all over the park. Now, they almost did it when they changed it to Genie Plus. There was a rumor that they were just going to do this style system then. I think they would have been better off doing that, because if you're going to charge for this system, I do think going this route of it's being scarce, you pay more for it, but when you have it, you don't have to schedule anything. You don't have to mess with the app. You can just walk up, get in line, and go. I think there's a lot of people that would enjoy the aspects of that. Mind you, you have to pay for it to get that, access. But I think a lot of people would like that. Now, something I think that they should do, I don't think they will do this, but I think a thing they could do that would go over a long ways with the fan base and getting people back in the, I guess you could say, the good graces of Disney, would be you make the multi-pass, the Lightning Lane multi-pass, back to Fast Pass and include that like they used to as part of your vacation. So you get those 3 bookings ahead of time, and then you can use Fast Pass during your vacation along with like Magical Express. I think a lot of people, especially coming up next summer when Disney is facing the opening of Epic Universe, which who knows how much of an impact it's going to have. It is going to affect Disney on some level. But I think if they brought these things back as perks or just included with your trip, I think for a lot of people, it would go a long ways for them feeling like they're getting much more out of their vacation, and could give them something to, I don't know if you would compete with Epic Universe, but at the very least to your built-in audience that you have. I think a lot of those people would be very much more lined up, more keen to take advantage and go to Disney if they're offering things that they used to, so that keeping maybe those people from going over to Epic Universe. But in terms of implementing it now into the current system, I mean, the Lightning Lane thing is just getting really complicated in terms of the branding. So you've got Lightning Lane multi-pass, single pass, and then you'll have Premier Pass. That's a lot of stuff to stuff under the Lightning Lane name there. So I do think it's a little confusing on that end. Again, I have questions about how many would they sell, and how would that impact the overall lines. But I suppose on its face, there are people that would buy this and use it. I do wonder, would you be able to use it at every park? Would you have to buy a Premier Pass for an individual park? Because you would have this group of people that could be getting into lines at any time. It ideally shouldn't impact too much in terms of the regular lines. But knowing Disney, they probably, they want to sell as many of the multi passes that they can, as many of the single lane passes that they can, and they'll want to sell as many of these high priced premier passes that they can. So it just comes down to, are they going to be able to do a system that balances all this out to where the standby lines are not overly negatively impacted? Because as much as Disney wants to sell these cut the line systems, as many theme parks do, you still don't want your guests that don't purchase this to have a bad time and be waiting in lines forever. You still want them to have an enjoyable experience, but they could look over and say, oh, maybe next time we get the Premier Pass to be able to cut the line and things like that. But in terms of the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, it is technically a rumor right now, but I do think this rumor has a lot of legs considering this went live shortly on the Disneyland app. And given as well, like it had not only the naming, but it had this logo on the app. So obviously this was something that they had been working on. It was in the app to some degree, and someone just accidentally set it to live on the app. So this is, I think, something that is probably going to happen, as it seems like Disney is not done making changes to their cut the line system. We'll have to see if this impacts the multi-pass, the single pass, or anything else like that. And given they said the rumor is that they would make this go live in 2024, there's only a few, you got 4 months left in the year, so this is probably something they would implement fairly soon. In terms of, I'm curious what the pricing would be. I'm curious if there's any other changes to this, but I won't be surprised, we'll put it this way, if this does become an option under Lightning Lane and further changes perhaps are made before, the summer of 2025, as I'm starting to get the idea here that Disney is really going to do some internal things to offer people to try and compete on some level with Epic Universe. Because as much as Disney doesn't want to admit or act like that they're worried about Epic Universe, they have to be on some level. And so them making changes like this, I think, is definitely a response to that, as trying to satisfy their fan base and trying to entice people to either come back to Disney or give Disney World a shot. But of course, we'll have to wait and see when and if this goes live. But on its face, like I said, I like it. I think this is a better system. I just don't know much I like it alongside the system they currently have, which basically is Fast Pass, but you're paying for it. So having 3 different tiers of the Lightning Lane, I think, again, goes into Disney tends to overcomplicate things. I don't know how much this goes into simplifying your trip, at least with the branding wise, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But that is going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Disney World, Universal Studios, Epic Universe, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about this potential Lightning Lane Premiere Pass? And do you think this is a good idea by Disney? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.